Maya had always been a dreamer in her family. While her siblings pursued traditional careers, she harbored a vision that seemed impossible to everyone around her, transforming abandoned urban lots into thriving community gardens that would feed entire neighborhoods. The noise of doubt at first, Maya made the mistake that so many dreamers make. She shared her vision with everyone. Family dinners became pitch sessions, coffee dates turned into detailed explanations of soil composition and vertical farming techniques. She created elaborate presentations, post concept sketches on social media, and waited for the world to validate her dream. Instead, she got a symphony of doubt. That's not realistic. Maya, who's going to fund something like that? You don't have experience in agriculture. The city will never approve permits for that. Each comment chipped away at her confidence. She found herself spending more time defending her idea than developing it. Months passed, and her dream remained exactly that, just a dream, talked about but never acted upon. The power of silence. One morning, Maya woke up exhausted from another sleepless night of self-doubt. She looked in the mirror and made a decision that would change everything. She would stop talking and start doing. She deleted the social media posts about her project. She stopped bringing it up in conversations. When people asked what she was working on, she simply said, "Just focusing on some personal projects." Instead of explaining, she started executing. Maya enrolled in online courses about urban farming. She studied successful community garden projects in other cities. She researched zoning laws and permit processes. She reached out to local soil experts, not to validate her dream, but to gain practical knowledge. While others were busy scrolling through social media and announcing their intentions to the world, Maya was quietly building the foundation of her future. The discipline of daily action every morning at 5 a.m. Before the world woke up and filled her head with distractions, Maya worked on her project. Some days she felt motivated, other days she didn't. It didn't matter. She showed up anyway. She created detailed business plans in the early morning hours. She identified potential locations during her lunch breaks. She built relationships with city officials through persistent, professional follow-up. She applied for grants and funding opportunities. While others were watching television, her friends didn't understand why she was always busy. Her family wondered why she'd become so secretive. But Maya had learned a crucial lesson. Not everyone needed access to her dreams, and she didn't need permission to pursue them. The underground network. As Maya worked in silence, something beautiful began to happen. She attracted the right people, not through announcements or social media posts, but through action. A city planner noticed her well-researched permit applications. A local business owner saw her studying soil samples in an empty lot. A community leader heard about her quiet meetings with neighborhood associations. These weren't people looking for entertainment or validation. These were people who recognized someone who was serious about making things happen. Without fanfare or publicity, Maya began to assemble a team of believers, people who didn't need to be convinced, because they could see the work she was already doing. The moment of truth. 18 months after Maya had stopped talking about her dream, she received a call that would change everything. The city had approved her proposal for the first community garden project. A major grocery chain wanted to sponsor it. 3 neighborhoods had requested their own gardens. Her phone started buzzing with messages from people who had heard the news. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know how she'd gotten so lucky. Family members who had dismissed her idea were now asking for advice. Friends who had rolled their eyes at her unrealistic dreams were suddenly interested in getting involved. But Maya had learned something profound during her quiet months of work. Their approval no longer mattered. She had proven to herself that she could turn vision into reality. She had discovered that success doesn't come from convincing others, it comes from convincing yourself through consistent action. The harvest. 2 years later, Maya's first community garden was feeding over 200 families. The empty lot that had once been filled with weeds now produced thousands of pounds of fresh vegetables annually. Children who had never seen vegetables grow now spent afternoons learning about nutrition and sustainability. The local news wanted to interview her. A national magazine wanted to feature her story. Speaking opportunities poured in from across the country. Maya accepted some of these opportunities, not because she needed validation, but because she wanted to inspire others who might have dreams they were afraid to pursue. But she never forgot the lesson that had made it all possible. The power of moving in silence, the discipline of daily action, and the freedom that comes from stopping the search for external approval. The ripple effect. Maya's story spread, but not in the way she had once imagined. Instead of social media posts and grand announcements, her impact grew through the quiet power of results. Other cities began implementing similar programs. young entrepreneurs started reaching out, not for validation of their ideas, but for practical advice on execution. She had become living proof of a simple truth. When you stop talking about what you're going to do and start doing it, the whole world pays attention. The new revolution today, Maya runs a nonprofit that has helped establish community gardens in over 50 cities, but she still wakes up at 5 a.m. She still moves with the quiet confidence of someone who has learned that success doesn't announce itself, it simply arrives. When people ask her for the secret to her success, she gives them advice that sounds almost too simple to be true. Stop waiting for permission. Stop looking for validation. Stop announcing your plans to people who don't share your vision. Find one small thing you can do today that moves you closer to your goal, and do it. Then do it again tomorrow, and the day after that. Let your results be your announcement. Maya had learned it, that the most powerful revolution is often the quietest one. The revolution that happens when you stop seeking approval from the world and start building the future you know is possible. In a world full of noise, she had discovered the extraordinary power of focused silence. In a culture addicted to validation, she had found the freedom that comes from validating yourself through action. And in a society that celebrates those who talk the loudest, she had proven that sometimes the most powerful voice is the one that lets success speak for itself. The quiet revolution doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the early morning hours when nobody's watching. It happens in the small daily decisions that nobody celebrates. It happens when you stop performing your dreams and start living them. Your revolution is waiting, but it won't wait forever.